This video is going to be a little bit different today because I'm just going to be real. I've been going through the most debilitating, life-changing breakup of my entire life. But through this breakup, I've learned so much about the healthiest ways to get through this. And so I want to take a big negative of a breakup and try to turn it into a positive and help you who might be going through a breakup as well. And for background, I was in a 4.5 year relationship, and it was actually an amazing, very happy relationship. But it came down to a gut feeling for my ex and long term compatibility concerns. We had a pretty long breakup, and it's definitely been the most heartbreaking experience of my life. So I'm hoping that this will bring you a little bit of comfort knowing that you're not alone in going through a hard breakup. And the way I see it, there are three pillars for getting through a breakup. The first is connections, the second is health, and the third is reflections. Now, I'm going to dive into these pillars and give you some tips on what I've been doing to try to handle this in the healthiest way possible. But breakups are always tough, whether you ended on good terms or bad terms. And I've gone through breakups where, it's one or the other. They each come with their own set of challenges. And I just want you to be easy on yourself. You're going through something really hard. And the first pillar to help you through it is connection. I know it's really easy to feel very alone after a breakup, especially when you're used to going to bed and waking up with someone and they're no longer there. So it's important to take inventory of what you do have. And I think of us as a vessel. So each of us is a vessel, and we fill up our vessel with all the people, things, activities, events that we do in our day to day life. The law of nature that I've learned is that if you pour out your vessel completely empty, let's say you go through a breakup, you lose a friend, the law of nature is that your vessel will fill up again with something else. And I'm learning through this breakup that when I'm emptying my vessel, I'm filling it up with more aligned friends. And most of these friends are actually friends I've already known for a while, but I just wasn't making room for them regularly in my vessel because I filled all of my time with my ex boyfriend and his siblings. But now that my vessel was empty, I had room to fill it up intentionally. Now, on a more personal level, I'm also consciously now choosing to fill up my vessel with my family. One of my big takeaways from this breakup is that I neglected my family a lot because I prioritized my boyfriend's family over mine. There's a lot of reasons for this. They lived really close by, we were close friends, and my family's a long flight away. But one of the takeaways from this breakup is that I want to prioritize my family more, whether that's through phone calls or FaceTimes. And I actually just booked a last minute trip home tomorrow to visit my mom for her 70th birthday. And I didn't really reflect on this until I got some space from the relationship because I just always wanted to spend time with him. And he wasn't prioritizing my family either. So I just kind of didn't put effort into going home very much. And so it's been a really powerful outcome to consciously choose to be with them more. And I just want to remind you that your family is really the only people that are your bloodline and with you for life. It is never too late to reach out to them. It doesn't matter how long it's been. In my previous relationship, when I was a lot younger, I went a while without talking to my family. And I just want to remind you, it is never too late to reach out. They love you. Now, the second pillar is health. And I'm going to talk about physical and emotional health because through this breakup, I've really felt the inclination to stay in bed longer, scroll longer, lean into the lethargy of it all. But this breakup has been the biggest reminder that movement is how we process. So, getting outside, sticking to a normal routine, getting exercise, getting movement in, getting good nutrients, all of those things changed the whole game. The days that I chose to spend in bed with the blinds closed, scrolling on my phone, they didn't actually help. But the days that I got outside and chose movement and eating well, it actually helped me move the needle forward. Now, for the emotional health, my main advice is to let yourself cry. The times that I bottled up my emotions, they ended up coming out 10 times harder down the line. So now I allow myself to cry whenever I feel like it. If I wake up and I'm feeling sad about the breakup, I cry. If I'm mid-workout in my house and I feel the emotions coming up, I cry mid-workout. It's okay. I noticed that when I actually allow my emotions to come up, I only cry for about 10 seconds instead of it becoming an all-day sad fest. And I've learned that the only way out is through. So there's no point in bottling it all up. You're going to feel it all eventually. And the third pillar is reflection. This is what actually helps you move toward the future. The way that I do this is through journaling, prayer, and meditation. And journaling helps you process what even happened. Why did you guys break up? What are you feeling? How are you moving through these emotions? What have you learned through this experience? What did they represent for you that you're now feeling like you're missing? These are all really important questions to ask yourself as you're moving on. And looking forward to the future, you can journal or pray on what was missing from that relationship that you're looking for in the next one. How could you show up as a better partner? How do you want to feel in your next relationship? And sitting with all these emotions will help you gain clarity on what wasn't working and where to go forward from here. A few other random tips that I've noticed have helped me that don't necessarily fit into the pillars is the first thing is to take down all the pictures. I know it hurts a lot, but what I told myself was that I can always put the pictures back up if I want to. I had a picture above my desk right here for over 4 years of me and my ex, and it was really hard for me to take that one down. But I didn't throw it out. I put it away with all my other photos and just allowed it to be there. I can always put it back up, but it would be really hard for me to be working every day staring at a photo of us together. I also did this on my favorites list. I removed him from my tops favorites. It's such an easy thing to take him and put him back on, but every single day, whenever I would go to make a phone call, his name would be at the top of my list, and it was pretty painful to see. Now, this one wasn't applicable for this specific situation, but I know in a previous breakup, I wouldn't share with my friends and family how bad the relationship was. And I did this for a variety of reasons. The first is that I was embarrassed. The second is that I wanted to protect the identity and the character of my ex-boyfriend, that I was scared if we didn't break up, I didn't want my friends or family to think differently of him. But what I learned from experience is that letting your community in will give you the support that you need in order to leave. I know it's scary to tell people what's really going on if you're in a bad situation, but I cannot encourage you enough to at least tell one trusted friend or family member. And you should really start thinking through, who am I protecting here? My friends and family only wanted the best for me. So why was I sitting here protecting him? I know it's a really hard thing to do, but please talk to your people about what you're going through. If you feel isolated and alone, remember that you're not. Who is making you feel isolated and alone? You are not reaching out to the people that love you the most. Your village wants to take care of you. Are you giving them the space to let them take care of you? And one final tip is just my mantra that I've talked about in other videos, which is to remember that everything always works out for you and life keeps getting better and better. Mantras are something that have helped me a lot through this breakup. And I actually have a whole video talking about mantras. I'll link it at the end of this one. It might help you too. But it basically goes over the power of words and thoughts. And speaking positively to yourself will help you get through this. I do hope these tips and pillars helped you a lot through your breakup. I just want to remind you that breakups aren't linear. They say that the brain treats breakups similar to how it treats withdrawals. So just be kind and patient with yourself and remember that you will get through this. You've gotten through everything else in your life so far up to this point, and you're going to get through this too. I believe in you.